Breaking news from Sacramento: California Democrat politicians in the state legislature are rushing through a crazy bill to allow the doxing of federal law enforcement agents and make it a misdemeanor crime for federal law enforcement agents to try to shield their identities. Coming up, we'll tell you all about the crazy proposal, how it puts the lives of law enforcement at risk, and what we're doing to stop it. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator, and I am pissed. This proposal I'm about to talk to you about is crazy, it is dangerous, it's offensive, and it needs to be stopped. This is Senate Bill 627 that we're going to talk about in just a moment, that would make it a misdemeanor crime for federal law enforcement to try to shield their identity by wearing a mask or a face covering. Mind you, Democrats mandated face coverings just a few years ago, but now for law enforcement, they want to make it a crime. We'll get into that bill in just a moment, but I need to just tell you, we are fighting every day up here to bring you stories like SB 627 and to fight to stop bad policies, but we can't do this without your help. So I'm imploring you, get off the couch and get into the fight. Go to our website. Ground zero for the fight to take back California is at reformcalifornia.org. Reformcalifornia.org. Go to that website. Check out the stories that we are putting out every day. Share them with your friends and family so that we can break through the censorship of the liberal media. But more importantly, get engaged in the fight. Go to the bottom of the website and sign up. If you're not signed up, you're not going to know what's going on in your area. You're also not going to get the plain English voter guide that we put out every election that has not only a plain English description of the ballot measures on your ballot, but endorsements for judge, city council, school board, and everything all the way up to the legislative races. Go to reformcalifornia.org, sign up at the bottom, first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code. And then finally, while you're there, consider putting some gas in our tank. I know California gas price is $8 a gallon, but put a gallon of gas in the tank of Reform California by contributing today. We need your financial support to do this work. All right, let's get right into it. Here's the bill. Senate Bill 627, sponsored by, no surprise, liberal Democrat Senator Scott Wiener from San Francisco. Headline from KCRA: officers who cover their face would be charged with a misdemeanor under California proposal. The misdemeanor charge is any federal, state, or local law enforcement agent who covers up their face as it relates to performing their duties. And a lot of times these members of law enforcement want to cover their face up, sometimes for health reasons, but mainly because they do not want to put themselves or their families at risk of being hurt. And that's exactly what we're seeing happening in so many ways. So here is the story. Local, state, and federal law enforcement officers who cover their faces while conducting official business would face a misdemeanor charge. So we're making it harder for law enforcement to do their job. We are criminalizing their efforts to remain anonymous. They're doing a tough job as it is, and they know that militant members of the far left want to target them. I mean, we just saw over the weekend lunatics motivated by mental illness and agitated by political views, trying to target elected officials in Minnesota, and people who are police officers, federal law enforcement agents like ICE. They understand that there are crazy people out there that try to figure out who's doing what and get the identity of that person, and then they try to dox them. They try to bully them, intimidate them, and perhaps even do worse. If someone wants to remain anonymous while they're doing the job of law enforcement, let them have the comfort and peace of mind of being anonymous. We already have enough laws and regulations for how they're doing their job. We don't need one more, which is, again, designed to say, look, we're going to make you open season when it comes to the far left militant groups, identifying who you are and then trying to target you. based upon your identity. And you're saying, well, Carl, that's not going to happen. It's not going to. Oh, yeah, bitch, please. It's happening right now. There was this guy who was running LA Scanner. And this guy would basically, it's a Twitter account that would listen to the LA police scanner. And then when they would figure out what law enforcement was doing, he would then report it to everyone to give a warning. Well, when it came to the ICE raids, LA Scanner, this anonymous, mysterious Twitter account, was not only telling people where ICE agents were and asking people to report, where they are, but this account was telling people where they were spending the night, what their identities were, what hotels they were at. And he would put this out there, and a number of episodes occurred in just the past week where he would promote that they were at the Holiday Inn at this location. And then suddenly misfits would show up slashing tires and harassing anyone who was going in or out of the motel as though they were law enforcement officers. Here's his tweet. I'll be posting the exact location of any ICE raid that I hear about. And then he says that's a tweet about himself. Here it is. 119 South Madison Avenue, Pasadena, confirmed uniformed federal agent sighting. He says, I genuinely hope this doesn't end in anyone losing their life, but it's starting to feel like it might. He goes on to say, I really hope that nobody shows up, based upon the information I'm providing, wink, wink. So he's putting out this information about where people are staying the night that are involved in federal law enforcement operations. Well, then someone out there on the right figured out who LA Scanner was. And this SOB, this hypocrite, started complaining. I recently discovered several posts containing my family's name and home addresses. This is unacceptable and violates our privacy. Be warned, if anyone appears at my residence with harmful intentions, I'm legally entitled to use deadly force in accordance with my state laws. Leave my family alone. Leave me alone. What did you just do to the federal law enforcement agents, you blank hat? He did the same thing. Oh, tables turned. How do you like them apples? You don't like it very much. So his identity was revealed. But worse, it gets worse. For him, this guy was a felon. His name, Jack Quillen. And someone found that he had a felony record for stalking. And part of his sentence was, in the legal proceedings against him, was that he's not allowed to own or operate a police scanner. My. And the question was raised, obviously, if he's running LA Scanner and he's, saying that he's listening to a police scanner, is he in clear violation of the terms and conditions that the courts have applied to him? Perhaps. We'll see. Well, now we find this story, and it's so delicious. Man who ran LA Scanner deactivates X account, plans to turn himself in for doxing ICE agents. Oh, karma. But back to the bill. The reason why I wanted to present the story of the LA Scanner is that's what we're really talking about here. That's what Senator Scott Wiener wants to facilitate. He wants to make it easier for thugs like LA Scanner to find the identity of a federal, state, or law enforcement agent, to just simply doing their job, expose their identity for the public, dox them, and then bring grave risk to that individual of law enforcement and their family. This is shameful. Senator Scott Wiener, you are absolutely corrupt. You need to resign. You're a despicable individual. And I haven't even gotten into all the legislation that I've revealed that he has been carrying to protect predators. But SB 627 is truly shameful. I'm urging everybody to spread the word and to contact their legislator to oppose SB 627. This is Senator Scott Wiener. We got to make him famous. Let everyone know who he is. I'm not sharing his personal address, but it's probably written on the sides of all sorts of restrooms in San Francisco. Here is a press conference he did at San Francisco City Hall promoting the bill that he's introducing, SB 627, to dox law enforcement.
Yeah, if I could just elaborate, people covering their faces, impersonating police officers, it erodes trust in law enforcement and it undermines community safety. That's really what this bill is about. And I think many law enforcement officials legitimately...
Bitch, please. You know what undermines community safety? Putting law enforcement at risk because their identity is now known. When you have leftist crazies that your party is agitating and inciting, and having people not wanting to do the job, I guarantee you, we will have a problem with recruitment and retention if we put the lives of law enforcement at risk. Full stop. Guarantee you. That's what's going to happen. And that's what Senator Wiener wants. That's what these liberals want. They want to bully and intimidate law enforcement into not doing the job, which puts you at risk. If you don't have a good law enforcement presence at the federal, state, and local level, no one shows up to do the job, your life is at risk, which is exactly what Senator Wiener wants. So don't sit here and tell me that this is a public safety bill. Bullshit. Absolutely nonsense.
Officials would welcome, putting in safeguards to ensure transparency and accountability. And I think the concern is a lot that's happening. There are a lot of people who are engaged in these enforcement actions.
Oh, so doxing is about transparency and accountability now. Again, if I posted Senator Scott Wiener's location every moment of the day, if I was doxing him, the Democrats would be clutching their pearls and just screaming and yelling about how dangerous that was, particularly in light of Minnesota and the state legislators who lost their lives.
Actions, and we don't know, are they federal? Are they contractors? Are they local law enforcement? And so we're requiring that people not have to wear masks except for some...
Oh, we don't know about law enforcement. We don't know. We need more information about law enforcement. No, we need more information about where the criminals are. We need to get them off the street. That's what this is about, public safety. They're bending over backwards, trying to pass SB 627 to make it hard for law enforcement to do their job. Full stop. That's what's happening here. We need more of this and that to figure out why law enforcement's so bad. No, we need to figure out where the criminals are and get them the hell off the streets. We have a crime wave on our hands. This is the priority, the twisted, warped, deviant priorities of California legislators like Senator Scott Wiener with SB 627.
Limited exceptions, and that there be identifying information ensures that we know who is involved here. It's also critical to
identifying information and know who's involved here because we want to dox their rear ends.
State and local laws, including our sanctuary law, SB 54, which says that local law enforcement are not going to be involved in immigration enforcement. So this is, I think, furthering the state's effort.
Now we have to make sure that local and state law enforcement, if they're violating our law that we passed to have them shield criminals, we want to know if they're not shielding criminals. We got to hold them accountable for shielding criminals, for not shielding criminals. This is what we are literally seeing. This is their clip that they're promoting at a press conference. It could not be more clear. At Reform California, we are fighting to expose this, to block SB 627, and to throw people like Scott Wiener out of office. Look, we may not be able to win in San Francisco because they're, again, completely bat blank crazy. But we can win in target seats by making SB 627 a key vote for any of the legislators in these target seats. We are recruiting candidates for the state Senate and state assembly. And we are backing them with our voter guide at all sorts of campaign promotions coming into the midterm election. But we can't do that without your help. So go to the website, reformcalifornia.org, sign up, and of course, chip in a contribution, whatever you can, put fuel in the tank. Also, like this video and subscribe to this channel so you continue to receive updates on breaking news. We're doing the work that the liberal media refuses to do. We're bringing you the truth about SB 627. Now, by the way, people have asked me, is this legal? No, it's not. It's not legal for them to try to apply this law to federal law enforcement. And so my good friend Harmeet Dillon of the Department of Justice tweeted, if they think that this bill is going to apply to federal law enforcement agents like ICE and others, no. FBI, ICE, DOJ, DHS, we do not have to comply with SB 627 if it passes. Here's the problem. State and local law enforcement, yes, they would probably be at risk of having to comply with this doxing bill that they're trying to impose. So we've got to stop it, full stop, at the state legislature. Help us do that. Go to reformcalifornia.org, like and subscribe to this video. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.